and welcome to Evangel Theater's production of Heaven Came Down, an Easter play written and directed by Colin Tracy. Join us as we tell the Easter story as never heard before, starting from before Lucifer's fall through angelic eyes. This play was written based off of scripture, church tradition, and some conjecture where appropriate. This play was recorded during social distancing via Zoom video conferencing and edited by Colin and Laurilee Tracy. Now, without further ado, Evangel Theater presents Heaven Came Down.
To answer your question, Uriel, only those with the highest commitment to heaven can live beyond the pearly gates. Most would argue that Earth, once creation is completed, of course, will be a place of testing, if you want to call it that, somewhere lesser beings can live until their worthiness is determined. Yes, Uriel. Another question, I presume?
Yes, that is, if you don't mind.
No, of course not. Teaching is my gift, after all. Fire away.
If God wishes to test his creations, why didn't he test us? Why are we allowed to travel through the pearly gates?
Ah, the eternity-old question, one that angels have been mulling over since our own creation. The theories are endless, but I'm afraid it's one of the few questions for which there really isn't an answer. The Father has been famously tight-lipped on that issue, which likely means he wishes us to discover the answer for ourselves.
Will you just stop it already? Some of us need to get to choir practice.
But I have one more question.
Then ask Azazel after class.
It's okay, Phanuel. I'm sure Uriel isn't the only angel with questions.
Yeah, just the only one asking them.
I will never condemn my students for curiosity. Uriel, you may continue.
Thank you, Azazel. I was wondering what your thoughts on the question were.
It's not often a student asks for my opinion. Now, normally I wouldn't use class time for speculation, but I've spent many a millennium considering this very issue, though I wouldn't take my word as gospel. Only the Father truly knows what he plans for the new world he's creating. But that hasn't stopped the archangels from forming theories, thoughts, and hypotheses, most of which I've debated with them at length. And after careful thought, the theory I prescribe to most is this. Angels were created to be second only to God in both power and authority. In other words, our purpose is to rule, to carry out God's vision amongst his lesser creations. That is why it is so important that all of you commit to your studies and hone your gifts, because once creation is completed, we must be ready to take leadership of it.
But when will we...
When is class going to end because some angels have places to be?
Well, if there are no other questions...
But
If you ask one more question, I swear I will rain the wrath of heaven down on you myself.
Yes, Uriel?
Nothing. I just can't wait for our next class.
Oh, well, your enthusiasm is greatly appreciated. If that is all, then I suppose class is dismissed. I expect your specialty's work to be completed before the next time we see each other.
What the heaven was that, Phanuel?
I call it mercy, for the rest of us at least. I swear nothing has ever tempted me before, but your questioning makes me want to sin in the worst way.
I was really hoping to ask Azazel if he could help me find my specialty.
The Father will show you when you're ready.
I've been ready, Phanuel. Ever since I was created, I've been praying for the Spirit to give me my gift. What's the holdup? Why is the Father taking so long?
Maybe because you need to let it go. Have faith, friend.
That's easy for you to say. Hope is your gift after all.
That's where you're wrong, my friend. Hope is everyone's gift. Some of us are just its vessels.
I just feel like the only angel without a gift. I mean, Uriel got water, Joel got fire, even Samael got death. Whatever that is. I just want something, a purpose, whatever it may be.
The Spirit of God is still hovering over the informed earth, which means there's still time. The Father has a plan for you. You have to keep believing that.
You've always had more faith than I have.
Are you sure it isn't just hope?
Yeah, rub it in. Why don't you?
And then I told Gabriel, lighten up. No need to be so dark and gloomy when you're in the presence of the angel of light.
Not him again. Come on, Uriel. Let's get out of here before Lucifer makes us the butt of his next joke.
What do you have against Lucifer? He's God's second after all.
How could I forget? He only reminds us every time we see him.
Can you imagine being the angel of light? The one angel in all of heaven who represents the Father's entire being? I mean, he's basically God's son.
You know what you're saying is blasphemy, right?
Yes, I know. The Son is God's son. Obviously. It's semantics. Why shouldn't he be proud of earning God's favor, though?
Maybe he should, but like the Spirit says, pride goes before the fall.
Oh, come on. We both know that wasn't what I meant. And you still haven't answered my question. What do you have against Lucifer?
He just has this whole popular angel thing going on, and that entourage of his may be even worse than he is.
Do you think he could help me find my gift?
I think you're the only one who can find the purpose God has for you.
Can't hurt to ask, right?
And that's my cue to leave. Good luck getting past his cronies.
You sure taught that blowhard Gabriel a lesson.
Don't be so hard on my brother, Abaddon. I'm sure it's very trying being the lesser archangel.
Excuse me, Lucifer?
Step back, lesser angel. You need permission before approaching the son of the morning.
No need to be so temperamental, Abaddon. I have time for all the Father's children. What is it, Uriel?
Well, I was just wondering. You see, I haven't been given my gift yet.
And you were hoping I could perhaps speed up the process?
Lucifer, I don't think that is wise.
Tell me, Samael, did I give you the gift of wisdom?
No,
Did I appoint you as my counselor?
I don't think so.
Then how about you leave the decision-making up to me?
I'm sorry, Lucifer. I didn't mean to cause any division. I'll just...
Nonsense. Sometimes my friends can be a little overzealous. You must forgive them.
Of course.
You see, I could give you a specialty of your own, for all gifts are born of light, which, of course, is me. However, I should warn you that my gifts are not the same as God's. His come free. Mine come at a price.
I'll do anything.
Let there be light.
Gabriel, what's going on? What was that?
It has begun, the first day of creation.
Isn't it glorious, Uriel? Creation is the beginning. We're finally about to fulfill our purpose.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, Lucifer, about that gift?
It'll have to wait. Come, Abaddon, Samael. We've much to discuss.
But what could this mean?
I don't know, Samael.
It means that God has abandoned us, just as the scribes foretold.
It could simply be a formality.
To create light on earth without the help of the angel of light?
It doesn't make any sense.
The Father sending a message to all of heaven.
But you're his favorite, Lucifer. There must be a mistake.
The Father doesn't make mistakes.
Which means he intends to replace you. Why else would he choose light as his first act of creation?
No. There must be another explanation.
Ah, Azazel, my old friend. What news do you bring of creation?
I don't understand.
What is it?
I was wrong. Everything I've ever known is wrong.
Spit it out, old man.
Patience, Abaddon. What have you heard?
I overheard Gabriel and Michael speaking by the gates. They say that God intends to make the humans in his own image.
What?
It can't be.
But no angel has ever been given that honor. Not even me.
Exactly.
But what could it mean?
That God intends for the humans to rule over us.
Precisely.
But they're mere specks compared to us. Fragile, disgusting creatures.
Who can't even live in his presence.
It doesn't matter.
How could he want them to rule over us?
That's not all. Gabriel also said the Father plans to give them a choice.
Free will?
But why?
What's there to understand? It's as you've always told us, Azazel. He wants to prove them worthy.
But I thought he just meant for a home in heaven, not a crown and an iron fist.
Why would the Father grant them a seat by his throne instead of you, or me, or Azazel? Even that killjoy Uriel has more right to rule than they. The humans don't have gifts, or power, or anything remarkable, really.
It doesn't matter. The humans may be lesser beings, but the Father is giving them his image, with a body, a soul, and a spirit, a mirror of the Trinity. And if he gives them a choice, if they prove themselves faithful, he can make them into vessels to house his power. And even more than that, he can grant them a purity that we angels can only dream of. We will be no match for them.
But what can we do?
We can start by convincing them. Uriel, Phanuel, just the angels I wanted to see.
Me?
And I thought only the Father was omnipresent.
I apologize for running out so abruptly before. The creation of light was unexpected. It required much meditation and prayer. But now we finally have the chance to finish our conversation. You were hoping I could give you a gift, were you not?
Yes, I was.
But didn't you say your gifts come at a price?
As do all.
What do I have to do? I'll do anything.
All I require is a mere pledge of your allegiance.
Well, heaven already has mine.
To me.
That's insane, not to mention blasphemous. What makes you think any angel would pledge your allegiance to
He
you?
is the angel of light, is he not?
The most powerful and most beloved angel in all of heaven.
Pledging allegiance to me isn't so different from pledging allegiance to the Father. We both want the same things.
Which are?
Power and prosperity for all of heaven, and all who live inside its walls.
But what about creation?
What about it?
Shouldn't we also be concerned with its well-being?
Well, yes, but would you care for them over those God has ordained as the carriers of his will? Over those God has deemed worthy of his presence?
Let's get out of here, Uriel. Lucifer has clearly given himself over to heresy.
You can leave anytime you wish, if you're afraid of the power I could give you.
I'm not afraid. I just see your power for what it is. Hollow.
Are you going to let your friend make all your decisions for you, Uriel? Not everyone can comprehend the gifts I can give them, but I think you understand more than most. After all, as we both know, God doesn't plan on giving you a gift.
Don't listen to him. He's trying to trick you.
How do I know your gifts are real?
Perhaps I could assist with that.
Azazel, what are you doing?
What I was too blind to do before.
It's good to see you finally come around to the light, my friend. Now, repeat after me. I, Azazel.
I, Azazel.
Hereby and from this day forward.
Hereby and from this day forward.
Renounce all loyalties other than to the Son of the Morning.
Renounce all loyalties other than to the Son of the Morning.
Now stand. Based on your pledge of allegiance, I grant you the power God refused you during your service to him. Now reach out your hands.
Wow, that's some gift.
But at what cost?
The power. I can feel it coursing through me. It's unlike anything I've ever felt before. I feel like I could.
Overthrow all of heaven.
Yes.
What is the meaning of this?
What are you talking
The
about?
surge of power came from this spot just now. I'd know the smell of your gifts from anywhere.
I was simply showing my friend Uriel what can be expected when one receives their specialty.
You know what the Spirit told you about giving out gifts that aren't your own.
Speaking of things the Spirit has said, did I hear correctly that the Father plans to make man in his own image?
That's what he told me, yes.
Oh, so he told you, did he? And here I thought I was his favorite.
Who are you to presume that God grants you special favor?
Who am I? Who am I? I am Lucifer, the angel of light. But did the Father consult me regarding the creation of light of all things? No.
Because he did.
I am not finished speaking, Gabriel. And now he wishes to grant these humans, lesser creatures who cannot comprehend the splendor of heaven, who are not worthy of his presence. He wants to grant them creation in his image. How dare he? I am the angel of light. I am the only angel in all of heaven who is worthy of being imprinted with his image, which is light. So you want to know who I think I am, Gabriel? I am the son of the morning, and I will not be made into a mockery. So if God will not put heaven first, then I will. I will be God in his place.
Lucifer, I don't care what kind of an army you raise, you will never defeat God.
I know, but that doesn't mean I have to go down quietly.
What are we to do now?
Now we must prepare.
Prepare for what?
For war.
You coming, Uriel?
I'm not sure.
You heard Gabriel. We have to get ready to fight.
Are you sure we even should?
Of course we should. Lucifer stands against all of us, against everything heaven stands for.
But you heard what he said. He's doing this for heaven, because God's lost sight of us.
Don't believe his lies, Uriel. Lucifer isn't thinking of us. The only angel he ever looks out for is himself.
Maybe he and the Father aren't so different after all.
What do you mean?
When it comes down to it, do you really believe God would fight for us? I mean, we spent eternity serving him, and now God is going to make the humans in his image, granting them his special blessing? What special favor has God ever granted us?
We were made to do his will. Who are we to question it?
I'm not. I want to serve heaven. I do, with everything in me. But what has God ever given me but all these empty promises?
He gave you a purpose.
But what good is that without a gift?
When you need one, he'll give it to you.
Or I could just go get one from Lucifer right now.
That's not a good idea, Uriel.
I know, okay? Lucifer's fighting a losing battle, and if I fight, I'll probably get kicked out of heaven along with the rest of them. What good would Lucifer's gift do me then? I just feel so useless, Phanuel. Like I'm the most useless angel to ever exist.
Nothing the Father creates is useless. Some things just take time.
Time. Yet another thing the humans have that I don't.
Surrender now, and the Father may still be merciful.
Mercy. Name one time the Father has ever shown mercy.
Name one time he's been given the chance.
Today seems as good a day as any.
You know you can't win, so why fight?
I've lost all faith in God, Gabriel.
In his love, his faithfulness. So I'm giving him a chance to prove himself to me. If he truly loves us, he won't abandon us to the void. He'll relent. However, if he doesn't, well, we'll just see what happens now, won't we?
I wish you wouldn't do this.
At this point, I don't think I have a choice. The battle hasn't even begun, and Gabriel has approached me with terms of surrender.
Lucifer believes that heaven can be shaken by mere threats and avarice.
What does that show us, my friends? Heaven believes you to be weak.
He believes his light gives him special privilege, that it makes him better than you.
They think that hollow threats and empty promises will scare us from this battle that we have to fight. But you want to know what I think?
God kneels before no angel, and no one can ascend above his throne.
I think heaven should be terrified of you. We will make the Father rue the day he abandoned us. We will make all of heaven shake with our power.
Uriel, draw your sword. Heaven needs you.
I don't know, Phanuel. What use could I really be?
You are capable of amazing things, friend. God knew it when he created you. I only hope that one day you learn to see it.
And I hope you'll be there if I do.
So do I, friend. Lucifer, your rebellion ends now.
Really, Phanuel? You think you can take me on in one-on-one combat?
Your power is nothing.
We'll see about that, won't we?
Ha!
Ah!
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Oh, my sword!
And just like that, it's all over.
Phanuel!
What are you doing, Uriel?
Protecting my friend.
Fool! I could have given you power beyond your imagination. Now you will die without knowing any power of your own. Only obscurity.
Lucifer, enough! You and your followers have been found guilty of treason against heaven. Therefore, I strip you of your light and hereby banish you from my presence to the earth, where you will remain until the end of your days.
I feel cold, dark. It's unlike anything I've ever felt in all of eternity. So alone, abandoned. How could you do this to me? All I ever did was serve you, and this is how you repay me. By deserting me the second I do something you don't approve of. Those are not the actions of a god. Those are the actions of a coward. A child who does not get their way. And why? Because of the humans. Those weak, wretched creatures you planned to create. You love them so much that you cast out the best of your creation in order to what? To protect them. Well, if you love them so much, then I will rip every last one of them from you until there is no one left for you to love. I will force you to banish every single one of them, just like you did to me. And that will show you that you are no god. You are no creator. You are nothing. You want to take my light? Fine. Then I shall be the darkness.
Breathe. It is not good for man to be alone. We will make a helper suitable for him. Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has breath of life in it, I give you every green plant for food. I have created this garden, Eden, to be your home. You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. Now, walk with me. There is much I would like to discuss with you, Adam and Eve.
Isn't creation amazing?
I have to admit, the Father has outdone himself. First he creates heaven, and then...
All of this.
And all those creatures he made for the humans. There's so many different kinds.
Truly a master of creativity.
I'm particularly fond of the one the humans call giraffe. I've never seen so many variations of spots.
Almost makes you wish you could live in the garden too.
I'm almost jealous that the humans get to live here. Not to mention they get to walk with the Father himself.
Careful, Uriel. Jealousy was what caused Lucifer to fall.
I said almost.
I'm just messing with you, friend. Now keep a sharp eye out. Gabriel sent us to protect the garden.
Right. He's worried Lucifer might come after the humans as some sort of revenge.
Exactly, and we can't let that happen.
Blast those idiots again.
What are they doing here? I thought the garden was supposed to be unguarded.
Gabriel must have sent them to protect the humans from me. Always the good little soldier.
Ugh. The earth isn't even a day old, and God already has the angels serving those abominations.
Not if I have anything to say about it. Soon they'll be serving us.
But how are we supposed to corrupt the humans with those two guarding the entrance?
I have an idea, but I'll need you to distract them.
Your wish is my command, my king. Oh, golly gee, I sure hope there aren't any meddling angels nearby who could ruin Lucifer's simple and easily foilable plan.
What are you doing here, Abaddon?
You're not allowed in the garden.
Not even as a favor for a friend?
We were never friends.
Oh, ouch! You went right for my feelings with that one. How will I ever recover?
Enough, Abaddon. You were banished from heaven, along with the rest of the fallen. Why would the Father allow you into Eden?
Would you believe I've renounced my wicked ways?
Not in an eternity.
Besides, there's no forgiveness once you turn from the Father. You of all angels should know that.
Angels. I don't like that term anymore. It's so subservient. I was thinking we should be called something more devious, disturbing. Something like demons.
Well, whatever you call yourselves, your kind isn't allowed here. We'll escort you out.
Don't touch me! I won't have lesser beings laying their hands on me. I can walk perfectly all by myself.
Now all I have to do is wait, and humanity will be mine.
Isn't Eden wonderful, Adam? I can't believe all of the things the Father has gifted us with.
I particularly like the company.
You always know what to say to me.
And peaches. Those are just to die for. Well, not literally, because, you know.
Yes, because there's no death in Eden. You've made that joke 20 times now.
And yet, it's still not old.
Just when I thought I couldn't hate humans anymore.
Oh, look at that creature over there. I haven't seen one of those before.
Whoa, that's the coolest one yet.
You would like the slimy one. What do you think we should call it?
How about Slime Pansy? No, that's too much like the other one. How about...
Serpent.
I don't know. I'm partial to Creeper. What do you think?
I think Serpent is the perfect name. It's regal, powerful even.
How come we only keep the names that you come up with?
Well, if you ever came up with any good ones.
I do quite agree, Miss Eve. I think Serpent fits me rather well.
Oh, and it's one of the talking ones. How do you do, Mr. Serpent?
Mr. Serpent?
Yes, because of the whole hissing thing. Very clever.
Oh, they do say I'm the brains of our pairing.
Who says that?
Well, I do, for one. And second, I think the gorillas find me quite charming.
That's just because you peel the bananas for him.
The perks of not having giant clumsy hands.
Yes, opposable thumbs must be quite the advantage. Oh my, would you look at that over there? Is that a new unnamed creature?
There is? Where? I'm gonna name it first.
Finally, we're alone. Now tell me, Eve, how do you like Eden?
It's wonderful. Everything I could have wished for.
But didn't God say that you must not eat the fruit from any tree in the garden?
Of course we may eat the fruit from the tree in the garden. It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we are not allowed to eat. God said, you must not eat it or even touch it. If you do, you will die.
You won't surely die. God lied to you, for he knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it. And you will be like God, knowing both good and evil.
But why wouldn't he want us to know about that?
Because, my dear, he fears you. If you were to eat from this tree and then take from the tree of life, he would no longer be able to control you. And he wants nothing more from his creation than to control it.
That doesn't sound like the Father.
Of course it does. The world isn't even a day old, and he's already given you all these rules of what you can and can't do. It's pitiful, really. Besides, if the fruit from this tree was really so bad, would it look so tasty? So what do you say, Eve? Just a small bite? What can it hurt?
Well, it does look good.
Better than anything you've tasted in your short life.
One bite couldn't hurt.
You are going to be so jealous. I just came up with the best animal name ever. Hippopotamus. You know, because of the pot belly.
Really? That's the name you came up with?
What's wrong with it?
Nothing we can't fix later.
What's that in your hand? I've never eaten a fruit like that before.
Here, you should try this. It's even juicier than a peach.
Oh, I love those. But isn't this one of the fruit from the tree that God told us not to eat from?
Don't worry about it, Adam. I ate some and I'm still breathing.
Okay, if you say so.
Good riddance. Abaddon was really starting to get on my nerves.
At least now Lucifer won't be able to. Adam, no!
Wasn't that fruit from the tree? Like the tree? The one they weren't supposed to eat from?
And that serpent is Lucifer. I recognize the smoke smell anywhere.
He tricked us. He must have sent Abaddon to distract us while he snuck in. That snake! What are we to do now?
The only thing we can do is tell Gabriel we failed.
Do we have to?
If we want to avoid God's wrath, I think we must.
Adam, Eve, come to me. I desire to walk with you again.
We can't let him find us. We have to... Adam, why are you still eating the fruit?
Because it tastes good?
Just get rid of it and help me find somewhere to hide. I can't let God see me like this.
Like what?
Naked, Adam. We're both naked. It's embarrassing.
How did I not notice that before? Come on, there's a bush over there.
Adam, Eve, where are you?
What are you doing?
He's going to find us, Eve. There's no use in hiding. Besides, it's not my fault you listened to the serpent.
You've got to be...
Here I am, Lord. I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked.
Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten fruit from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?
It's the serpent's fault. He tricked me. That's why I ate it.
Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all animals, domestic and wild. You will crawl on your belly, groveling in the dust as long as you live. And I will cause hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel.
Ha! Serves you right, you disgusting creature.
And as for you, Eve, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. And you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you.
Him? But Lord, he's...
Thank you, Lord, for saying that I am 100% not at fault here.
Adam, since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. It will grow thorns and thistles for you, though you will eat of its grains. By the sweat of your brow you will have food to eat until you return to the ground from which you were made. For you were made from dust, and to dust you will return. As much as it pains me to say this, you are both hereby banished from the Garden of Eden, never to return.
But Lord, I
have spoken. Now go. Be fruitful and multiply. Teach your children to serve me. Hopefully they will do better than you have done. Don't be prideful. You haven't won anything yet.
Except that I have won everything. I have forced you to banish your precious humans, just like you did to me.
I will yet bring some of them back to me. You will rule this earth for a time, but be afraid, Lucifer, for your punishment will be more severe than theirs. For the time will come, my child, when you will no longer be light, as you once were, or darkness, as you are now. You and your followers will instead be reduced to nothing. Mark my words, Lucifer. I will send a redeemer for these humans, and through him, I will end you. Your power will be set to ruin.
I'd like to see you try.
Uriel, stop pacing. Everything's going to be fine.
But we messed up, Phanuel. Bad. Really bad. Like apocalypse bad. We single-handedly destroyed the Father's creation. What could be fun about that?
If we just...
What if the Father kicks us out of heaven? Banishes us to earth like he did to Lucifer?
First of all, you need to breathe. You're waking yourself up for nothing. Second, Lucifer sinned. He rebelled against God. All we did was make a mistake.
A big mistake. A giant mistake. A massive gargantuan.
Yes, it was big. But only God is perfect. He doesn't expect us to be.
I hope you're right.
Greetings, Uriel. Phanuel.
Gabriel.
We have something to confess.
Yes, you most certainly do.
You've already heard?
Would it be much of a messenger angel if I hadn't, would I?
So, that's that then, right? No need to revisit it?
That's not what confession is about, Uriel.
It's not.
It's about understanding. You have to say the words to fully understand the gravity of what you've done.
What happened is...
I'd like to hear it from Uriel.
Me?
You're the most hesitant to speak. You must learn to speak the truth, no matter how hard it is or no matter how you think the person you're talking to will react.
We allowed Lucifer into Eden.
Purposefully.
No, of course not. We were deceived. Abaddon distracted us while Lucifer snuck in.
And now sin has entered the world.
Yes, Gabriel.
Because you let down your guard.
Yes.
Thank you, Uriel. Now come, we must prepare to defend humanity.
Wait, you're not banishing us from heaven?
Banishing you for what?
For ruining the Father's creation.
You haven't ruined anything, Uriel. God always knew this was going to happen.
He knew?
He created creatures he knew would never be able to commune with him?
All shall be revealed in time. For now, we must discuss the consequences of your mistake. With the humans banished from Eden, we must make all haste to guard the tree of life. We cannot allow them, having the knowledge of good and evil, to eat from the tree of life and live forever. Uriel, you are tasked with defending Eden from anyone who dares approach it.
Yes, Gabriel, I hear and obey.
Take this. It is infused with God's fire, and it will strike down any foe you swing it at. Now come, Phanuel. We have much work to do.
Where are we going?
The children of Adam and Eve have built an altar to offer sacrifices to the Lord. We must stand at the ready to share God's approval or disapproval with them.
Garden the garden, garden the garden, allowing no one to come in. Ah! Oh, it was just a twig. It has been a millennium since anyone dared approach Eden. Who would go looking for it now?
Perhaps someone like me?
Stand back, Lucifer. I don't want to hurt you.
Nor could you, I believe. Not with that little toy.
This sword was crafted by God himself. It's infused with this fire.
I've crafted mightier weapons in my sleep. Besides, Uriel, I'm not here to fight.
Then you're here to deceive.
On the contrary, I came to offer you a deal. All you have to do is walk away. Give me Eden and all the spoils of earth will be yours.
What do you want with Eden?
It's not what I want with Eden per se, but what all of the rulers of the world want. Power, authority, eternal life. And with the tree of life in my possession, I could give it all to them, providing they pledge their loyalty to me first.
What kind of fool would take you up on that offer?
Oh, you'd be surprised. I don't know if you've heard, but I've gone and broken all of God's little toys. It's only a matter of time before he admits defeat.
You couldn't hope to defeat God.
Oh, Uriel, I already have. So what do you say? Join me in the fight against heaven?
Uriel, it's... Lucifer, step away from Eden.
Can we just not today? I'm not here to fight.
If you didn't want to fight, you shouldn't have come here.
You're starting to sound more and more like Michael every day, Gabriel.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Leave now, for we make you wish you never stepped foot near Eden.
You know, as entertaining as it would be to see you try, I can see this party is quickly turning into a crowd. So I should take my leave. After all, I have some very important things to do. Humans to corrupt, worlds to destroy. You know how it is.
Now that he's gone, it's time for you to come with us, Uriel.
But what about the garden?
With the state the world is in, the Father has decided it is wiser to move the Tree of Life to heaven, where it will stay for the foreseeable future.
What state is the world in?
I'll explain on the way. We have an important message to deliver and little time to waste. The Lord has chosen a people through whom to fulfill his promise.
Surely there are other angels better suited to delivering a message so important.
Better angels? What do you mean?
I mean, well, one's the Father thought important enough to give a specialty.
Just because you haven't found your purpose doesn't mean God hasn't given you one.
You mean he's planning on giving me a gift? What is it?
Do you know what has happened on Earth since Lucifer entered the garden?
Honestly, I've been kinda out of the loop since then.
Generations have come and gone on Earth, leaving little more than destruction in their path. Lucifer has been busy, corrupting both princes and paupers across the face of the entire Earth.
And what is the world like now?
Chaos everywhere you turn. After Adam and Eve were banished from the garden, it did not take long for Lucifer to turn brother against brother, family against family, and nation against nation. Soon, Lucifer and the Fallen infected the minds of the humans along with the wombs of their women, forcing them to give birth to monstrosities. Eventually, the Father regretted ever creating humanity in the first place, and broke open the floodgates of heaven, flooding the entire earth and destroying every being that walked upon it.
Wow. All of creation destroyed because of our mistake? But then why did Lucifer...
The appearance of sin in the world allowed Lucifer to taint the hearts of many, leading them astray. But even still, one righteous man remained, Noah. So God spared him and his family from the flood's devastation. And once the waters receded, he set a sign in the skies as a promise that he would never again destroy the world with a flood. Soon, however, the humans forgot, once again. God's grace toward them, and as Lucifer once did, began to believe that they themselves could become gods. They built a tower hoping to conquer heaven. So the Father confused their languages and spread them throughout the earth.
Why didn't God banish them from earth, destroy them once and for all?
Because just as before, one righteous man remained, whom God decided to bless. You see, when left to their own devices, humans rely on their own pride and fall into Lucifer's trap. However, by building a nation to call his own, who followed him only, God knew he could create a beacon of light for the other nations to follow.
Who was this righteous man?
You will see. He's the one we are delivering the message to. His name is Abraham, and he's about to have a son.
That's fantastic.
That it is. Except one of you should tell him.
Why is that?
Because he's not going to believe you.
How come?
You will see. Look, we are almost there.
How are you feeling, Ishmael? Does it hurt?
A little.
Would you like me to get you something for the pain?
Mother said she would give me some willow bark to ease the pain.
Don't be silly. That woman's not your mother. I am.
She did birth the boy, Sarah.
A child conceived from your seed, which makes him mine by right.
Still, it's no reason to be hard on the boy.
Which is exactly why I insist upon making him more comfortable.
Don't mind her, son. She's been hoping for a child for so long, it's difficult for her to see you still clinging so much to Hagar, your mother.
I know, Abraham. Father, I just feel like she doesn't understand me.
Hopefully my understanding can make up for what she lacks.
And it does. But what I still don't understand is why we had to be circumcised.
Because God asked us to be.
But why? It seems strange that God would have us do it for no reason.
Sometimes the will of God is a mystery to us. But that's okay. We need to trust him. Do you see those men, Ishmael? Those are messengers from the Lord. I would recognize their heavenly glow anywhere. Be on your best behavior. My lords, if it pleases you, stop here for a while. Rest in the shade of this tree while water is brought to wash your feet. And since you've honored your servant with this visit, let me prepare some food to refresh you before you continue on your journey.
All right, do as you have said.
Please, sit by the fire, and I will see to your every need.
Gabriel, I thought you said he didn't have a son.
Are you sure that's what I said?
But I thought...
Ishmael is indeed Abraham's son, but not the one he was promised. Ishmael is the son of Abraham's servant, Hagar. The son God promised to him will be born of his wife, Sarah.
And that's surprising because...
She is Abraham's wife from his youth.
Meaning she's too old to have children.
Or so she thinks. By this time next year, Sarah will have given birth to a son.
It isn't much, but I brought some yogurt, milk, and roasted meat for you to eat. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Abraham. Your hospitality is greatly appreciated, though it is entirely unnecessary. We won't be here longer than a few minutes.
Please, it is so rare for us to have such important guests with us.
Where is your wife, Sarah?
Inside the tent, preparing a pain remedy for Ishmael.
Before we leave, I hope I have the chance to meet her, so I can wish her congratulations.
Congratulations? What for?
Because about this time next year, we will return to you, and your wife Sarah will have a son.
If only a worn-out woman like me could enjoy such pleasure. Do they not know how old Abraham and I both are?
Why did Sarah laugh?
Why does she doubt the power of God? I tell you the truth, by this time next year, she will have a son born of her own womb.
I didn't laugh.
Yes, you did. I heard you all the way over here.
But Abraham,
You must forgive my wife. We've been trying to have a child of our own for many years now. After so much disappointment, you must understand how hard it is for us to believe.
I trust that you will not doubt God this way again, after you see his promises come to pass. I thank you for your hospitality, but we must be off. Uriel, Phanuel, we have to go now.
But I haven't finished my meal.
If you must go, I insist that you take it with you. Far be it from me to deny you food for your journey. But I must ask, where is it that you are going?
I have heard a great outcry from Sodom and Gomorrah, because their sin is so flagrant. I'm going down to see if their actions are as wicked as I have heard. If not, I want to know.
But that's where my nephew Lot lives. Will you sweep away both the righteous and the wicked? Suppose you find 50 righteous people living there in the city. Will you still sweep it away and not spare it for their sakes? Surely you wouldn't do such a thing, destroying the righteous along with the wicked. Why, you would be treating the righteous and the wicked exactly the same. Surely you wouldn't do that. Should not the judge of all the earth do what is right?
I can only do what the Lord has commanded, but as he has spoken, if we find 50 righteous people within its walls, the cities will be spared for their sake.
Since I have begun, let me speak further to my lord, even though I am but dust and ashes. Suppose there are only 45 righteous people rather than 50. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5?
It will not be destroyed if we find 45 righteous people.
But what if you find 40, or 30, or even 10? Will the city still be destroyed with 10 righteous people living inside?
For the sake of even 10 righteous people, Sodom and Gomorrah will be spared.
Thank you, my lord. I will not bother you any further.
And we thank you again for your hospitality, Abraham. Come, Uriel. We must hurry if we are to make it to the city before nightfall.
What about me? Where should I go?
Make all haste to the pearly gates. I kept you from choir practice for far too long. The others are anxiously awaiting your arrival. From what I've heard, there's a new song the Spirit wishes you to teach them in preparation for your next performance.
Yes, Gabriel, I will go without delay.
What are we to do about Sodom and Gomorrah?
We will go down and inspect the cities to see if there are but 10 souls worthy of saving, though I fear their fates have already been sealed.
And Abraham's nephew Lot? Surely he is one of the righteous in the city.
All we can do is warn him. The rest, well, that's up to him.
Do you remember the rules of the game?
Be as quiet as a mouse.
As clever as a fox.
As quick as a cat.
And whatever you do, make sure you don't get snatched.
He's coming.
Spread out and make sure he doesn't see you.
Now?
No, just give it a moment. Let him get a little bit closer.
How about now?
Just a second longer. When I give the signal. Now!
Get over here, you little wretch.
Oh, too slow?
What's the matter, old man? Too fast for you?
When I get my hands on you, I'll kill you.
I'd like to see you try.
I've got it! I've got his coin! Come on, go!
Right behind you.
Take another step and your friend dies. Now, hand over my coin before I paint the square red.
How do we know you'll keep your word?
You'll just have to trust me, won't you?
Come on, give him the coin. It's not worth it.
Your friend is very wise. You should listen to her.
Sorry.
But I thought we were in this together.
You forgot one rule of the game. Trapped animals get killed.
No!
Sorry, kid. Guess your friends weren't as loyal as you thought. And now it's time to say goodbye.
Wait! Don't hurt the child!
Those kids stole my money lot. I can't let them get away with it.
I know, but what if I gave you some of my coin? Enough to replace what you lost. Then, would you let the girl go?
I could, supposing what you gives me make up for what I lost.
Now run, quickly, before he changes his mind. Is that enough to satisfy you, friend?
It had better be. If not, I'll be coming for something of yours next.
I hope so. I really hate this sand
My
stuff to get
lords,
there.
if it pleases you, turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning.
No, we plan to spend the night in the square. Get to know the city from out here.
Truly, I must insist that you stay at my house tonight.
We don't want to cause you any undue trouble.
It's no trouble at all. I couldn't allow myself to see you spend the night out in the cold.
Why are you afraid of letting us stay in the square?
It's just that it isn't safe at night here, nor is it very comfortable. I have a guest bed in my home that would suit you perfectly, and I'm sure one of my daughters won't mind sharing a bed with a sister to give you a second free bed.
That is very kind of you, Lot. We will stay at your house tonight.
Wait, this is Lot? Shouldn't we?
We will, Uriel, later. Please, show us to your beautiful home.
It's right this way. It isn't often we get visitors here, so I am very glad to be the first one to run into you. Now we can show you some real hospitality.
As opposed to the way the people of the city usually treat their guests?
Well, here we are. Let me fetch my wife and daughter so we can get a hot meal in your stomachs. Edith, honey, we have guests. Girls, come out and help wash our guests' feet.
Guests? At this late hour? I certainly hope they like leftovers.
Anything you have would be more than generous for you to offer. We don't require much.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that. I don't want to cause you any trouble.
It's not trouble at all.
We couldn't live with ourselves if we let our guests leave with unwashed feet.
But still, I don't...
It is not wise to deny the kindness of strangers, Uriel. What you see as saving them the trouble is really depriving them of a sacrifice that counts towards their righteousness.
Well, when you put it that way, now I feel bad they didn't wash my feet.
Thank you, my lord. Now, this may tickle a bit.
Well, what are two well-dressed strangers like yourselves doing in Sodom?
Edith, they're our guests, not
criminals to be interrogated.
We don't exactly live in a tourist city lot, so a woman like myself is bound to wonder what they're doing here, other than assume they must be lost.
Well, we were sent here to...
Get to know the city, of course. We've all heard the stories, but Uriel and I wondered if there might be anything redeeming about the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. Something that might make it a place worth visiting.
Redeeming? That's certainly not a word I would use to describe this place.
There are some tolerable people here. Besides, it's where our daughters were born. We have a lot of memories here.
Only the Lord knows why this place is allowed to thrive, considering some of the things that go on here.
Lot, come out here now.
What was all that noise about, Father?
I don't know. I'd better go see what it is. Friends, what are you doing, making all this ruckus in the middle of the night? Did I not give you enough coin?
You gave me enough to cover my loss, but not nearly enough to account for the pain and suffering I went through at the hands of those miscreants. And not nearly enough to account for the trouble you've put this city through since you moved here.
Trouble? What trouble have I or my family been?
Don't think we haven't seen you looking down on us for the way we live our lives. You think you're so much better than we are because of that God you serve. So, for all the pain you've caused us, good, kind people, we require payment.
What kind of payment do you want? Name any amount and I'll pay it.
Where are those two guests I saw come to you tonight? Bring them out to us so we can get to know them.
No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Be reasonable. I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You've heard our terms. Now it's time for you to pay up.
You ask for payment I cannot give.
Then we will take them by force.
Father, can I talk to you for a minute?
Of course, honey. My family and I will discuss your terms. Give us a moment. What is it, my love?
You should send my sister and I out to them.
No, I can't. You don't even have husbands yet.
Which is exactly why we'll be suitable payment.
I can't force you to do that.
Father, you're not making us, and we can't stand by and let them treat our guests this way.
Okay. I will let the crowd know.
Lot, no. Just hand these men over. You can't put our daughters through this.
The Lord will not allow me to have these men's dignities on my conscience.
But what about our daughters?
They made the choice. The least we can do is honor it. Look, friends, I have 2 unwed daughters under my roof. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do whatever you like with them. But don't do anything to my guests, for they have come under the protection of my roof.
Get out of our way. You came here as a foreigner, and you continue to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them.
Uriel, follow my lead.
Gabriel, what are you doing?
We have seen exactly what we came for in this city. Just do exactly as I do. Do not worry, Lot. God has seen your righteous deed and will reward you. Let us deal with these evildoers.
Glad to see you finally came to reason. Now come closer so we can get to know you better.
Reach out your hand, Uriel.
What are you talking about?
Just do it.
I can't see anything.
Where did I go?
Where did you go?
Where did I go?
Watch where you're going.
What happened out there? What did you do to all those people?
Don't worry about them. You should worry about getting you and your family out of the city as quickly as possible.
What are you talking about?
Do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-laws, sons, or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? You should take them and leave as quickly as you can.
We are going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it.
Hurry! Take your wife and your daughters, or you will be swept away when the city is punished.
Flee for your life. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains or you will be swept away.
No, my lords, please. Your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life, but I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I'll die. Look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it is quite small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? And my life will be spared.
Very well. I will grant this request. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it. Now, Uriel, come. We must leave this city before God's wrath rains down.
Is everything gonna be okay, Father?
As long as we don't look back, we'll be fine.
I can't believe it's just gone.
Edith, no!
Abraham!
Here I am.
Take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you.
But why, Lord? I don't understand. Well, the Lord spoke. I should listen.
Where are we now?
We are standing on Mount Moriah. This is the spot where the Father's temple will be constructed in another 500 years.
Then why are we here now?
Because there is another matter you must learn about. Sacrifice. For you see, mankind's sin is too great for redemption based on their own merit, but the Father has not abandoned them. Instead, he has provided a way to cover over their sins. Blood, a spotless sacrifice of great value, must be offered up to the Lord in order to make atonement for their wrongdoing.
But what sacrifice would the Father accept?
Father?
Yes, my son?
The fire and wood are here, but where's the lamb for the burnt offering?
God himself will provide the lamb for the offering, Isaac. Now, would you please build the altar right over there, in the center of the clearing?
Yes, Father. But I still don't understand. We have plenty of lambs at home. Why didn't we just bring one of them with us?
Because the Lord asked us to trust in him to provide the sacrifice he requires. Now, please, I need some quiet for a while. Just continue to build the altar.
What is it the Father intends for Abraham to sacrifice?
Isaac.
The son born to Sarah? The same one we promised to them both?
One and the same.
But why would God give Abraham a son just to send him to his death?
Because God wants to make sure that his gifts are never more important to the humans than he is.
I finished the altar, but where's the sacrifice God has promised?
It will come. Now, please, Isaac, lay on the altar. Test it out for me. We have to make sure it will hold the sacrifice.
Father?
Just do it. For your old man, please. Close your eyes, son.
But Father...
God will provide the sacrifice.
Abraham! Abraham!
Here I am.
Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son. Because you have done this, the Lord has provided another sacrifice. I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies, and through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me.
Humanity. It isn't what I expected it to be. When Adam and Eve were banished from the garden, I figured they were just deceived, that they were nothing more than Lucifer's unwitting pawns. But seeing the people of Sodom, witnessing how vile, how corrupt they were, I'm not so sure anymore. I know Gabriel said God made them in his own image, but all I see in them was a reflection of Lucifer. So far, the only righteous people I've seen are Abraham and Lot, and even they're imperfect, selfish, and even sinful. But perhaps a sliver of righteousness is enough. Maybe God's people have hope yet.
I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Is there nowhere in the universe where I can hide from your stink, Lucifer?
Wow, Uriel. Even for me, that was hurtful.
How are you even here? You were banished from heaven.
From living here, yes, but even God allows me back from time to time, just like he did with Job.
Your devious schemes didn't work then, and they won't work now.
Devious? You make me sound like I'm some sort of villain. I assure you there is no scheme afoot. I just came here to talk.
What angel would listen to you now, after all you've done?
I was hoping you might.
Why would I do that?
Because, despite your grandstanding, I think we understand each other pretty well.
And that's where you're wrong.
It's only a matter of time before you join me in the fight, Uriel.
It would take a special kind of fool to join the losing side now.
And an even greater one to think that a single battle wins a war.
You'll never defeat God.
Maybe not head-on, whatever wing-measuring contest you angels consider fighting. But this is chess, Uriel, and right now I'd say we're at checkmate.
What do you mean?
Now that God has abandoned his precious chosen people, I've finally taken the Father's last piece off the board.
Abandoned his people? But we were with Abraham yesterday. God just called him from out amongst the earth.
Yes, but you're on heaven time, love. A day is like 1,000 years. You know, that old shtick.
So, you're saying that since we were with Abraham...
500 years have passed, kid. But apparently, since you're a few feathers short of a wing, it looks like I'm going to have to fill you in. Generations have passed since your visit to Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham's descendants have made themselves into a cute little nation, but it seems that God's precious Israelites, like all humans, have a weakness I am especially suited to exploit. They insist on following a human king, and we all know how susceptible humans are to pride. Once I convince their kings to sin, it's not long before the whole nation follows. It didn't take long for me to turn them against their precious Lord, and not much longer for him to turn them over first to Babylon, then to Medes and Persians. Seems our all-powerful creator doesn't have as much control over his creation.
After all the Father did for them, they still turn their backs on him.
As they will again and again until the end of time. But you've got to ask yourself, Uriel, why is God so worried about the humans getting too powerful?
But
He's afraid of his creation. Now just look at Eden, Babel, the flood. Why else would he banish me from heaven if not out of fear?
Because evil can't exist in his presence.
Evil? You think I'm evil? I'm not evil. I've just seen the light, Uriel. If I was truly evil, why didn't I take Eden from you by force? Why offer you the chance to join me?
Because you wanted to trick me.
No, I want to free you. I've never wished any harm on you, brother, or any angel. All I want is to show God that just because a way is his doesn't mean it's right.
I shouldn't even be talking to you.
Uriel, Lucifer, step away from Uriel.
And what are you going to do about it, Angel of Redemption? Hope me into oblivion? We all remember how close I was to beating both of you when we fought in heaven. But alas, my fight isn't against either of you. Goodbye, Uriel. Think about what I said.
What was that about?
Nothing. We were just talking.
With Lucifer, it's never just talking. What did he say to you?
He told me that the humans abandoned the Father again. That couldn't be true, could it? The descendants of Abraham and Isaac couldn't be so fickle, could they?
I'm afraid they could, and they often are. But God has a plan.
Another plan? The only plan he should be considering is how to best burn it all down and start over. It's been thousands of years now, and humans are more hopeless than ever. They'll never follow God.
Some still serve him. You'll see.
Lord, I know you hear me. You always hear me. You have seen the plight of your servant. You have heard the decree of the king, proclaiming Darius the only God worthy of worship. And you know the punishment I face for praying to you. Your people have sinned, and you were right to give us over to our evil ways. But I know that you are the same God who rescued your people from Pharaoh, who parted the Red Sea, who spoke on Mount Sinai and delivered your vastly imperfect people to the promised land. Your enemies fall at your feet, and I know that you will watch over your servant, no matter what happens. And even if you don't, still will I worship you.
Ah, there you are, Daniel. By the decree of King Darius, may he live forever, I hereby place you under arrest on the charge of praying to false gods. As punishment, you are hereby sentenced to death by lion's den.
What hope any followers of God have when the world has turned so against him?
No matter how dark things seem, there's always hope.
But what good does that do when you're being torn apart by lions?
Uriel, hope does all the good in the world because from hope springs faith, and faith spurs action.
Remember, Your Majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no decree or edict the king issues can be changed.
Yes, I know. Daniel, it brings me no joy to have to do this, but...
Do what you must, Darius. I lie in the hands of God now.
May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you.
Why did you bring me here, Phanuel? I don't want to watch the one righteous man left in the world get torn to shreds.
It's not over yet. Trust me, you're gonna want to see this.
Rescue me, Yahweh, from the mouths of these lions. Rescue me from this den of beasts. Show your power through me and shine your light in Persia through my deliverance. You have the power over everything, over this den, over these lions. They are under your command. Nothing is impossible for you. Nothing is impossible, for my faith rests in you.
Because of your faith, Daniel, servant of the Most High God, you have been spared from the mouths of these lions.
Thank you. If I may be so bold in asking, who are you?
I am an angel of the Lord, sent to deliver your redemption.
Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?
May the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight. Nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty.
Soldiers, get Daniel out of the lion's den. I'm glad you're all right, Daniel. May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom shall not be destroyed. His dominion shall never end, for he has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions. Now come, we have a lot to discuss, as well as a few palace officials to punish.
We must move quickly.
Why?
We have a message to deliver to Daniel, and not a moment to spare.
What's the rush?
This message is of the utmost importance. Failure to deliver it could have ramifications for centuries to come.
I held them off as long as I could. Get ready to fight.
Well. Looks like the band's back together again.
These are the reinforcements you called in, Gabriel? Heaven must be desperate if it's still sending these two into the field.
Might as well give up at this point. It's clear you're outgunned.
What do you mean? It's 3 against 2.
Oh, you should know by now, Uriel. You count for at least -2.
Regardless, heaven never surrenders.
Especially not to the likes of you, Abaddon.
Show some respect. You're talking to the new Prince of Persia.
Prince? How could you be a prince?
Yet another gift our gracious Lord Lucifer has bestowed upon his faithful servant.
Then what are you supposed to be, Samael? Some kind of sultan?
The Prince of Greece, actually.
Those titles are counterfeit. Lucifer had no right to grant them.
Actually, he had every right.
About time you made it, Azazel.
What you say is blasphemy.
Everything Lucifer gave was given to him freely by those nations' rulers. For what is earthly power when compared to everything he can give them? And now you will see the might of Lucifer's princes.
And you will see the might of heaven.
Oh, gee. I hope I don't get a paper cut.
I've been waiting to skewer you for a long time. Ha!
Haha, so close, but yet so far. And now take that!
That blasted sword. Now, if only you had a gift to go with it.
What's happening? Why is the earth shaking?
It's her gift, destruction.
And now that you've lost your balance, take that!
Oh no, my sword!
Poor little no power. You never stood a chance!
No!
What was that?
I don't know.
Don't just stare at your hand. Grab your sword, Uriel.
Now is the time, princes. Ready your gifts. We will make a quick end of these angels.
Phanuel, go. Deliver the message. We'll hold them off.
I'm not leaving.
This message is too important. Go. Now, Uriel, show them your power.
My power?
It's been in you this whole time, all the way back to Sodom. Where do you think your sword gets its power from?
God?
Yes, but his power flows through you. You've always had a specialty, Uriel. You just never knew how to use it. Until now, extend your hand.
Earth, shake!
Stand, Uriel. Focus on God's power flowing.
Lightning, burst forth!
I can't do it, Gabriel. I'm not strong enough.
Yes, you are. Now focus.
And now, the darkness.
Light!
Father in heaven, hear me now. I beseech you to grant unto me the meaning of your vision. I have seen the great war, and it troubles my soul to the point of death. I am in great mourning because of what I have seen. No meat or drink will touch my lips until you grant unto me the meaning of this vision, both for now and for the future. Come to me now, Lord. Do you hear me, Father? I beg of you, speak.
Daniel, you who are highly esteemed, consider carefully the words I am about to speak to you, and stand up. Do not be afraid, Daniel, since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come to respond to them. But the Prince of Persia resisted me.
I am overcome with anguish because of the vision, my Lord, and I feel very weak. How can I, your servant, talk with you, my Lord? My strength is gone, and I can hardly breathe.
Do not be afraid, you who are highly esteemed. Peace, be strong now, be strong.
Be strong, Uriel. Hold on.
I can't believe I was able to hold all 3 of them off.
Congratulations, Uriel. God always had a plan for you.
It didn't even feel like I was doing it. I was just standing there, holding my hand out, and suddenly power was flowing through me.
See, Uriel, I knew you had it in you.
Yeah.
What's wrong? You just discovered your gift. You should feel...
Heavenly?
Pretty much. So what gives?
Don't get me wrong. I feel great. It doesn't feel like we did anything down there. With Daniel, the message, any of it. How long did it take for Israel to turn against God after leaving Persia? A generation? 2? It just feels like more of the same.
The Father's ways are mysterious. Who are we to know what plans he has in store?
Uriel, just the angel I wanted to see.
Yes, Gabriel? What do you need me for?
We have a message to deliver.
Another one? Don't get me wrong. I love hanging out with you, but isn't delivering messages your gift? I don't think you need me to do that.
This time I have a particular need for your skills, and Phanuel, please assemble the choir. I think it's finally time for their first performance.
Yes, sir, right away.
Don't you ever get tired of just delivering messages?
I'm doing the Lord's work. What could make me tire of that?
But nothing ever changes. It's like we just keep running and running, but never actually get anywhere.
Do you doubt God's plan?
Of course not. It's just that these humans never seem to get it.
Abraham understood, as did Noah and Daniel.
Sure, they did, but they're just a couple out of how many million? It doesn't make that much of a difference.
What are you trying to say?
Maybe God had it right with the flood and Sodom and Gomorrah. Maybe Lucifer's won this battle. But we can start again. We can win the war.
As long as a few righteous remain, we must press on.
I suppose. I just thought finally finding my gift would lead to something more exciting. Instead, it's just more of the same.
There's more to your gift than you know. You'll see.
Joseph, can you believe that in a year's time we'll be husband and wife?
Our wedding day can't come soon enough, Mary.
And then we can start a family together. Just thinking of it, our own family.
I'm thinking 5 boys and 2 girls.
But think of all the dowries you get from 7 girls. You retire a rich man.
After breaking my back making tables and chairs with no sons to help me.
Fine. As long as I get to pick the names. If you had your way, they'd all be named Joseph.
It's a refined name. A strong name. Our sons will be lucky to share it with me.
Honey, I love you, but I think I can only handle one of you.
You sound like my mother. Are you sure you'll be okay waiting here while I have my meeting?
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I love you.
I love you too.
Greetings, Mary.
My lord, but how do you know my name? I am but a common woman.
You are honored very much. You are a favored woman. The Lord is with you, for you are chosen from among many.
But I don't... How could...
Mary, do not be afraid. You have found favor with God. See, you are to have a son. You are to give him the name Jesus, and he will be great. He will be called the Son of the Most High, and he will be king over the family of Jacob forever, and his nation will have no end.
How will this happen? I've never been with a man.
The Holy Spirit will come on you. The power of the Most High will cover you. The holy child you give birth to will be called the Son of God.
Let it happen to me as you have said.
And so it shall. Be blessed, Mary, favored among all women.
My heart sings with thanks for my Lord, and my spirit is happy in God. The Lord has looked on me, his unimportant servant. He who is powerful has done great things for me. He has taken rulers down from their thrones. He has put those who are in place that is not important to a place that is important.
Did I hear you correctly? God is going to...
Give her a son, more specifically, the Son.
The Son is coming to earth? But why?
To preach sight to the blind, freedom for the oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and offer people a way to heaven. It's the plan the Father's been preparing for since the fall of man, just as he has told Lucifer in the garden.
I only hope they'll listen.
Well, Mary, you're officially looking at a small business owner.
You sold the chair?
For 2 times what I expected.
That's amazing. All the more reasons for us to celebrate. What do you say we get ourselves something special from the market to share with my parents tonight?
All the more reason?
Oh, I mean, one great reason to celebrate, because there's no other giant, world-altering news that we have received right now.
Yeah, that was totally believable.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because if there's one thing I know about you, Mary, it's that you are a terrible liar.
That's just because I've never lied before.
What's going on, Mary?
If I tell you, will you promise to let me finish before you get angry?
Why would I...
Joseph.
Yes. Sorry, Mary. I'll let you finish.
Well, the good news is we're going to be parents.
Well, yes, someday.
In about 9 months. I was visited by an angel and he said...
An angel?
Yes, he was here a moment ago and he said that God...
Mary, stop. Just stop. I thought you loved me.
I do love you, Joseph.
Then how could you do this to me?
I didn't do anything.
You cheated on me, and you didn't have the decency to tell me honestly. Instead, you made up some story about an angel. Like the Nephilim? Do you seriously expect me to believe that?
But it's what happened.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Why don't you just go home while I rethink our wedding?
But, Joseph...
I said go, Mary. How could she do this to me?
Joseph, son of David.
Who are you? And where did you come from?
I have come from the Father in heaven to tell you, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins.
Yes, of course, my lord. I'm sorry that I should go find Mary before she tells anyone else. Thank you, my lord.
Now, Uriel, look toward Bethlehem and reach your hand toward it. Feel the Father's power flow through you, and imagine it as a tiny spark in an otherwise dark sky. Good. Now, Phanuel, I do hope your choir is ready. You've only had since the dawn of creation to practice.
Don't worry, Gabriel. We'll be fine. And a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, will you look at that? Even as a baby, Jesus looks heavenly.
The shepherds seem to agree.
Even those wise men from the east have come to worship him.
The whole world is waiting for his arrival.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Why are you here, Lucifer?
You think the sun can come to Earth and I won't hear about it?
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
Would you believe we came to worship the baby king?
Not in an eternity.
We won't allow you to do anything to the child.
It's funny that you think we have to do anything.
What's that supposed to mean?
Pride is a terrible thing, isn't it? And King Herod has more of it than most. When he saw that star in the sky, let me tell you, he went crazy. Even sent some of those wise men to go find the baby and report back to him. The orders should be coming through any second now. All Jewish boys under the age of 2 are to be killed.
Including your precious Son of God.
They can't do anything to him, can they, Gabriel?
Why don't you tell them, Gabriel?
When the Son came to Earth, God made him both fully God and fully human, which means...
he can be killed.
You wouldn't dare.
Honey, I've done worse to less deserving entities.
My offer still stands, Uriel. Join the winning side. Once the Son is dead, the Father will have no choice but to surrender his creation to us. Then we will dispose of the humans and shape the world to our desires.
What are we going to do, Gabriel?
I don't know. Perhaps the Spirit will give us wisdom. We should...
Wait, I know what we need to do. I overheard a lot about kings and kingdoms during my time in Eden. Lucifer's princes may have the power throughout the entire earth, but earthly kings don't. King Herod's reach only goes so far. What if Mary and Joseph went somewhere else he couldn't find them?
Like Egypt.
It's genius. Almost poetic. Considering how long the Israelites spent there, only fitting their salvation would come from there as well.
Alright, Gabriel, time to deliver the message.
No.
No?
Why not?
Because you should be the one to do it, Uriel.
Me? But you're the messenger angel.
And you're the one through whom God's light shines. Don't you see? Your gift. It's been in front of you all this time. It's right in your name. Uriel. God is my light. Your light guided the shepherds and wise men to the Lord. Now, let your light guide the sun to safety.
If you think it's best, Gabriel, but I've never delivered a message before. I'm not sure if I know how.
Just go. Let the Spirit give you the words to speak.
Joseph.
Yes.
No, don't be afraid. Well, I mean, get up. Take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until Herod is dead, for he is going to search for the child to kill him.
Absolutely. We will go immediately. Come on, Mary.
What?
Wake up.
Joseph, where are we going?
To Egypt, so we can keep Jesus safe.
So, how would I do?
It could use some work, but for your first time, not bad. It'll get better, I promise.
Those wretched meddling angels, they ruined everything.
Maybe relying on earthly rulers wasn't the wisest of ideas.
Oh, really, Samael? You truly think that? Why don't you tell me more about things I already know?
And now that Herod's dead and the son is nearing adulthood, what are we to do?
The child is growing in wisdom and stature.
Everyone seems to like him.
Of course they do. Humans are drawn to beings with more power than themselves, even if they don't realize it yet.
He sure is wise for a child his age.
You almost sound like you admire him.
No! I'm just saying that you can tell how disgustingly the father is cheating by sending the son to earth. Look how he shows off in front of those rabbis.
As was written by David, a prophet of Yahweh, the Lord has sworn and will not change his mind. You are a priest forever, in the order of Melchizedek. The Lord is at your right hand. He will crush kings on the day of his wrath. What does this tell us about the nature of the Messiah?
That when the Messiah comes, he will be a warrior king who drives out our oppressors from amongst us.
I don't even have to do anything to deceive these people. Their misunderstanding of the prophecy does it for me.
But Rabbi, couldn't the prophecy also be about God's judgment at the end of time?
Well, I hadn't thought of it that way before.
Where did you learn to ask such wise questions, young one?
From my father.
Your father is a very wise man.
You have no idea.
Yeah, your father's God. We get it.
I have a question for you now, young man. How would you summarize the teachings of the Torah? See? I have stumped you thoroughly.
Give him time, Shammai.
Not everyone seems to adore our young king.
I was debating whether I should do it while standing on my head or one leg.
Why, you petulant
Why
little...
don't you surprise us?
Do unto others as you would have them do to you. This summarizes the law and prophets. The rest is merely commentary.
Wow, that was pretty arrogant. It's just disgusting how he just completely...
You better quit while you're still so far behind.
There you are. Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been frantic, searching for you everywhere. But why did you need to search? Didn't you know I must be my father's house?
He may be the son of God, but he's still human. And a mother's wrath can be furious.
Still human.
Except with the power of heaven.
Yes, which means this might be the perfect chance to split heaven right down the middle. And look, he's all alone in the wilderness. No food for days. He's weak. The perfect chance for me to strike.
Father, you hold the world in your hands, and in you alone is the power of the universe. As I enter the ministry you have planned for me, I pray that you would give me strength and power. Let your will be done.
What are you going to do?
Give him the same offer I gave past kings. Unlimited power in exchange for a bent knee.
I wondered how long it would take you to come after me, Lucifer. You're losing your touch.
Or I've simply learned patience.
That would certainly be new.
The angels tell me you're God's son sent to Earth to rescue his people. Quite the story. Not sure yet if I believe it.
Has it been so long since you've been in heaven that you would forget my face?
No, I simply couldn't hope to recognize God's son in this frail human form. It looks so weak, so hungry. How long has it been since you've had anything to eat?
Almost 40 days.
That's a long time for a human to go without eating. If you're truly God's son, I'm sure you could simply tell that rock to become bread. And it would.
It is written, man shall not live on bread alone.
So you've read a few scriptures. That proves nothing. I've read them too.
Then you should know you have no power over me.
I have power over all that lives and breathes. And it could all be yours. Everything you see. I will give you all their authority and splendor. It has been given to me, and I can give it to anyone I want to. If you worship me, it will all be yours.
It is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only.
Well, you certainly have the son's infuriating sense of duty, but honestly, I'm still not convinced.
I have nothing to prove to you, Lucifer.
You have everything to prove to me. The father wouldn't send his son, if that's truly who you are, for these fickle humans, would he? No. He sent you to come after me. Don't think I forgot what he said to me in the garden. He would send the son to crush my head, but only after I strike at his heel. So tell me, why should you be worth my time?
If I'm not worth your time, why are you still here?
See, now we stand atop the highest point of the temple. Look at all those people looking for someone to believe in. If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down from here, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you to guard you carefully.
Why would I do that?
You want to rip these humans from my hands? Well, do it! You know them as well as I do. They'll follow anyone who has enough power. So don't prove yourself to me. Prove yourself to them. Surely they will follow you then.
It is said, do not put the Lord your God to the test.
You are impossible. Fine, have it your way. But be ready, because now I won't just strike at your heel. I'll aim for the throat.
What are we even accomplishing? I've spent 3.5 years following Jesus, and for what? So we could feed a few poor people and raise an insignificant man like Lazarus from the dead? Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. The Messiah is supposed to liberate us, not speak for the oppressors.
Jesus is no Messiah.
But all the things he's done.
He's a fraud, Judas.
I believe in him, just not what he's doing.
Then it's time someone forced his hand. Let me show you what to do.
I will do what you say, son of the morning.
My fellow Pharisees, what are we accomplishing? This Jesus is performing many signs. If we let him go on like this, everyone will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away our temple and our nation.
We can't let that happen. Not after how much we've been through to rebuild Israel.
But no matter what we try, his popularity grows.
Then we must resort to drastic measures.
You know nothing at all. You do not realize that it is better for you that one man dies for the people than that the whole nation perishes.
But how would we get to him without someone on the inside?
Excuse me?
Judas, welcome. Have you had the chance to rethink our previous offer?
I will do it. I will give you Jesus.
You know, Phanuel, maybe I was wrong about the humans. Perhaps there is hope for them after all. Sure, a few of them won't accept the Son, but...
Just look at the crowd that follows him into Jerusalem.
they truly believe in him.
I think they might just aim to make him king. Look, see how they praise him as he walks through the streets of Jerusalem?
Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord!
It's fitting, isn't it? For the Son to be their king? I feel like I can see God's plan laid out before me.
He sets apart his people, knowing they'll spend centuries flip-flopping between following him and themselves. But it was all to pave the way for the Son to bring them back, freeing them from the Romans and from their sins simultaneously.
The Father truly possesses a wisdom we can only hope to comprehend.
Amen to that, Phanuel. Amen.
But what's this? Anger, I suddenly feel.
I feel it too, as though the rocks themselves are crying out in agony.
The people chants grow angry by the second.
Who's that being led toward Pilate? Is that Jesus?
I hardly recognize him. He looks so beaten and bruised.
I don't understand. What's happening?
You're witnessing my masterwork at play.
Lucifer, what did you do?
I find nothing wrong with this man.
But Pilate, he is causing riots by his teaching wherever he goes.
All over Judea, from Galilee to Jerusalem.
I barely had to do anything. Just a little well-placed anger and mayhem.
Kill him! Yeah, kill
You
him!
brought this man to me, accusing him of leading a revolt. I have examined him thoroughly on this point in your presence and find him innocent. Herod came to the same conclusion and sent him back to us. Nothing this man has done calls for the death penalty. I have had him flogged, and now I will release him.
See, Lucifer, you won't win. The Father won't allow it.
Oh, ye of little faith. Just wait for what comes next. I have my princes in place to influence the crowd in whatever direction I desire.
Kill him and release Barabbas to us.
Yeah! Release Barabbas! Why? What crime has he committed?
Crucify him!
Fine. But his blood is on your hands, not mine.
Let his blood be on us and our children.
We have to do something.
I agree, and you should start by getting on your knees.
How would we do that?
To pledge your loyalty to your new lord.
We'll never bow to you, Lucifer.
Every angel will bow to me, whether willingly or by force, once I turn heaven on its head.
Don't listen to him, Uriel. There's still hope.
Maybe I could blind the guards. I can't stand here and do nothing when I finally have a gift.
And a cute little parlor trick it is. But you don't have the juice to pull off a rescue like this. Besides, who says Jesus even wants to be rescued?
What are you talking about?
He didn't put up a fight. Never tried to defend himself, not once. If you ask me, he's finally realized who really has the power here. A new regime starts today.
Make way for the King of the Jews!
Oh, hail the King!
How could they do this after all he's done for them?
This is what happens when you cross Rome!
You saved others, now save yourself!
He healed their sick, raised their dead, and they still don't believe him.
Get up! Carry that cross! Some king you turned out to be can't even manage one little cross. Why don't you call on your angels? Let them save you!
Just say the word, Jesus. We're right here.
Why isn't he calling for us?
Lucifer is right. He wants this to happen.
But why?
I don't know. We have to do something, Phanuel.
But what can we do? You said it yourself. This is the Father's plan.
To heaven with the Father's plan and what Jesus wants. I can't let this happen.
Don't you get it? You're playing right into Lucifer's hands. You heard him in the wilderness. When he told Jesus to jump from the temple, he wants the Son to reveal himself.
Wouldn't that be better? Then the whole world would believe in him.
I don't know why the Father wants this to happen, but we have to trust him.
Israel, look upon your king! Not so kingly now, are you?
You said you were the Son of God.
This is what happens to blasphemers.
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Uriel, look.
He looks different.
His light is gone.
What is that darkness upon him?
Like the sin of the world now rests on his shoulders.
Into your hands I commit my spirit. It is finished.
this possible?
The Son of God dead. Why would the Father let this happen?
He must have a plan. He must.
Well, maybe Lucifer finally won.
Don't say that, Uriel. This can't be the end. It's just, it can't be. We should go back to heaven. Gabriel will know what to do.
No.
What do you mean?
I can't go back there, Phanuel. Don't you understand? This is all my fault.
You didn't do this. The humans did.
Didn't I, though? Didn't we? We let Lucifer into the garden. Sin entered the world because of us. If we had just stayed to guard Eden, the sun would still be alive, and there would still be hope.
There's always hope, Uriel.
No, not anymore. Three days in the grave. I can't believe Jesus is still gone.
Uriel, you can't just sit on his tomb forever.
I'm not going back to heaven, Gabriel.
The Father doesn't blame you. Uriel, this was always going to happen. It was his plan from the beginning.
I don't understand. What good could come from this? The Son of God is dead, his followers abandoned him, and the humans are officially beyond help. Why does the Father continue to allow them to destroy his creation?
Because there's still hope.
You're starting to sound a lot like Phanuel.
Hope isn't a bad thing.
I'm not so sure about that.
Remember what I told Abraham before I went to Sodom and Gomorrah? That even if 10 righteous people remained in the city, we wouldn't destroy it.
But there are no righteous people left. Didn't you see what happened on Golgotha? Where's grace ever gotten us?
To this exact moment, right on the precipice of something incredible.
What do you mean?
Why do you think the Father placed you in Eden? Why I brought you along with me to deliver all of those messages? Why it took you so long to find your gift?
Because he made a mistake.
Or maybe this is the moment you were meant for. Maybe all of this pain, all the mistakes were meant to prepare you for exactly what God created you for.
I don't understand.
Close your eyes. Now, tell me, what do you feel inside of the tomb?
What's the point of this, Gabriel? I've been here for 3 days and nothing's changed. There's nothing there but death.
Just trust me. What do you feel?
I feel... Wait. What's this? I feel power. How could this be?
I told you. There's always hope.
But the guards, if they see him, they'll kill him again.
Then you'd better do something about that, shouldn't you?
Do what?
What God created you for.
What's happening? I can't see! On the ground! Ah!
Gabriel, what do I do? Of course, he's gone. I guess roll the stone away. Jesus! You're alive!
It's good to see you too, Uriel.
But you were dead. How is this possible?
Death has no power over me. You of all angels should know that after all you've seen.
But why? Why did this have to happen?
So that some might believe.
As long as there are a few righteous left.
And the humans can never be righteous on their own.
So blood needed to be spilled. A pure, spotless sacrifice, just like with Abraham.
Now you're getting the picture.
So what happens now?
I think I'm going to go for a walk. I have a few friends who could use a little hope.
And what about me?
You should stay here. There are some women coming this way who are going to be a little confused when they come upon an empty tomb.
But shouldn't that be Gabriel's job?
The answer to your question's in your name. God is my light. What better way to shine God's light than to deliver the message of his promise being fulfilled?
I wish I didn't have to see him like this.
Do you have the spices?
Yes, we have everything we need to tend to the... But wait, why is the stone rolled away?
And who's that sitting on the tomb?
My Lord, please, do not hurt us.
Do not be afraid, for I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples. He has risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him.
It is so easy to look at our lives and struggle to see the purpose of all of it, especially when everything seems determined to be against us. But as Uriel learned during our story, God is not surprised by any of it. In fact, He's been planning for it since the beginning. So regardless of what may be going on in your life, take heart. Because just like Uriel, God has a purpose for you. And he sent Jesus to die on the cross to forgive your sins and allow you to find that purpose through him.